Look, other than a China driving license, I also got the international one.
And 1 year later, I can change it to Hong Kong license directly. How to do it? Is it worth to do it? I'll reveal that more in this video.
Wow, I can't be more exciting right now. I need to take this with me and I can drive the car on the road for my very first time. So excited. Wait. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to share my experience of how to get my China license in just 3 months. Going back on why I'm going to take my exam in China rather than in Hong Kong. Taking driving exam in Hong Kong is just crazy. As we all know, the driving exam in Hong Kong is really famous for 2 things. Firstly, super long waiting time for the exam. And secondly, it's a really low passing rate, with only 30% of the passing rate for a small vehicle. Trust me, I did try. I waited more than 1 year for the exams, and because in the exam I didn't turn my head enough for looking at the blind spot, I got failed, which I've already paid more than 10,000 Hong Kong dollar, and I got nothing. And the worst part, I need to wait 1 more year for the exams, pay the extra 10,000 dollar again. It's crazy. Here's the turning point. So at the beginning of this year, I actually got a job rotation opportunity to China, Guangzhou. If you look back to my other travel video, you can see I'm crazily exploring China as a whole, which is so exciting. And all the road trip just made me want to have the license more and more. And one day, I saw an advertisement said that, oh, you can get the license within 45 days. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I'm planning my trip in Tabas. If I can get that license already, I can start my road trip right away. For reference, here is my timeline doing the driving exams in Hong Kong but not getting anything. And my next exam was 1 year later. Comparatively, you can see I applied in April and I got my license already in just 3 months and spent around 5,000 RMB. The best part, after 1 year, I can change to Hong Kong license directly. So come join me if you're interested and experience this really unique experience together. Just as applying anything, the first thing you need is a passport photo, right? So I was here, but wait, I need to wear a specific shirt and I need to do the makeup here as well. 可以就是拍照还是可以修眉毛，这边还会电头发。So it's funny, they asked me to take the reflection myself and actually it's a styrofoam you can see from here. Let's see how my photo looks like. Passport photo in China style. So the second thing we're doing here is the body check. But I don't feel like it looks like a hospital to me. Just drop off from the taxi and find a way there. I believe this is the place. Let's go inside. If you want to convert your driving license to drive in China, this is the same body check for anyone who wants to apply a China license. I'm super lucky here, because not all the hospitals can do the walk-in. Let me know if you want more details. So in here, they only conduct the eye test and the colorblind test. I would say it's pretty easy one. Let's try it together. So can you see the numbers here? It's 74, right? How about this one? 你好，就是想报名那个学车的。自动的。The course I applied is around 5,000 RMB and it is a group class. Wait, group class? I wonder how the group class system works. Like in Hong Kong, there's only 1-to-1 classes available. Here's how the system works. Let's do a quick introduction here. So there's 4 exams included and 2 of them are mostly written MC tests. So for the multiple choice, there's no book or any guideline, but the only thing you can get the information is by doing the multiple choice as many times as you can. You can think it's like a database, and with a real exam, only 100 of the questions will draw from this database. I think the most interesting part is the design of the app. As you can see from here, you can interact with other people who are doing this question as well and discuss how to memorize it. And sometimes the comment is just so funny, you know. Here is what I have to learn in 3 weeks. I'm so excited. Let's start the lesson. So the task for me today is to just sit here and then make sure that I will look right into the camera when time is ready. And this.
所以2个人在是分享一个车吗？还是
Let me break it down for you. Picture this. There's a check-in system in place to ensure that everyone completes the required number of driving hours mandated by the government. So they install a camera inside car to monitor your presence and make sure you have logged at least 16 hours of training. Just like this one you see here. Did you notice that which side is the camera placed? You're right, the camera is not placed on the driver's side. Now here's where things got wild. The catch is that the system only counts your presence when your eyes are directly looking at the camera. But let's be real, when you're actually driving, it's both practically impossible and downright dangerous to constantly keep your eyes glued to the camera every 5, 15 or 30 minutes. So what ends up happening here is that before you can even have actual driving lessons, you're forced to spend a whopping 16 hours in the car just for the check-in process alone. Can you believe it? OK 各位，
即係好似黐車大卡咁，你入邊人喎。
係好唔安全，好怕嘅。
跟住隔離冇教練嘅喎。
First step to do it is to find a car randomly, but others are literally having classes right now.
直了就回正，然后肩膀对到线就。大家做动作就是等它直，直了你就回正，平。好。
Eating in cars sucks. It's full of mosquito here, so crazy. The war with mosquito.
黐線，好慘啊！
People from other cars is fighting with the mosquito too. Can you hear that? Working in cars. Fitting into the squatting culture. Good morning! Finally have my first class at 9 AM today. And my first class will be, I think it's with the simulator or something, but I'll try to show you later on. Wait, is this a simulator? It's not the electronic one I was expected, but anyway, let's learn some basic technique of how to turn the wheel. I finally figured out how the group system works. Firstly, the trainer will teach 2 or 3 students at the same time. After the first lesson, they basically won't teach you much, but you can do the training yourself and do as many practice as possible for the following lessons. Until you feel comfortable, you'll move on to the next lecture. I have no idea how the car can crash like this in such slow speed. As for why I'm carrying the green thing around, because they need to standardize what spot to locate for all the parking, so I need that to help with it on the exact spot that they want me to watch. For example, if I saw the end of handle almost touching the yellow line, I'll turn my wheels to the end of the right-hand side, so I will park perfectly in there. Hi, good morning. It's now 8:30 and I'm heading to the exam site. Pretty excited. I just dropped off from this car and wow, it doesn't look like an exam site to me, but hopefully I didn't went to a wrong place. Wait, wrong entrance. Luckily I met my classmate here. The service in the mainland is always very comprehensive and well prepared. For example, the driving exam this time, where they construct a 1-to-1 mock exam site right beside the actual exam site, so that you can have a better idea and familiarize yourself into the exam site and also the system. The attention to detail was exceptional too, with the instruction board you see here to the lampposts, models of the cars, and even the placement of the flower, they said, is identical. You know, I couldn't film inside the actual exam, but this will be exactly what will happen in there. As you can hear, the exam is primarily conducted by an automated system, with a safety guard sitting beside you. The system is equipped with a timer and a laser, I guess, to help determine whether you cross the exam line or not. So no human observation is needed here, making it such a fair evaluation. In such case, the system immediately notifies you by saying you have crossed the line and 100 marks will be deducted.
请开始考测方停车。
While to pass the exam, you can only deduct 10 marks for minor errors. Crossing the lines or not wearing your seatbelt, for example, will cost you 100 marks.
A few moments later.
Yeah, I got the second exam pass. Yeah, I can finally get rid of these things.
Do you like it? It's very trendy.
I really love this color. It's like really trendy and very
I like
fashionable.
it.
Finally to the road test. Wait, what? There's a 2 days 1 night required? What is that, a camp?
Woo! Hi, good morning. Here I start my intensive driving training in China. Tomorrow rural city called Huado.
To give you more context, up until this point, suppose I've never driven on the road before and have only touched the brake. Yes, never touched the gas pedal. And we have only driven in testing ground. I know it might sound crazy, but I have to stay in the car for the next 12 hours and learn.
Here I am in another center of the driving center. Let me find my trainer today.
学员已做好准备后按指纹。
First thing here is the car light testing. All you need to do is to react to the system, which they will provide instruction for a different scenario, and then you just adjust the headlight accordingly.
请开启前照灯。
Forgot to mention, before the exam starts, there is a really interesting step that requires you to press the button at the four corners of the car. I'm so curious, why we are doing this? Is this for safety checking, I guess?
够了，猛着踩，猛的多就是了。一隻腳啊！
I think the trainer here is really nice. It's just the student who made both the trainer and me feel nervous and dangerous. Speaking of the exam, the system will randomly assign one route out of 3 options for each student, and each route takes around 30 minutes to complete.
So you can imagine that today, 4 of us will try on 3 routes and 1 extra. And you can calculate that it's like 8 hours in total for 4 of us.
What?
Gosh, it must be a long day today. You might be wondering, what will they test you? Well, I would say there's quite a lot of items actually. Just as the exam too, there will be system guiding you just like this.
前方路口直行。
Firstly, when driving on a straight road, you must reach a speed of over 50 km per hour for at least 5 seconds. This can be challenging, especially on a single carriageway, and there are many cars overtaking from the opposite lane. Another aspect of the test is your ability to drive straight. Essentially, you need to keep your driving wheel steady for approximately 10 seconds. Additionally, they will definitely evaluate your skills in changing lanes, overtaking, performing U-turns, slowing down before crossway, and of course, obeying the traffic lights. So when someone is driving on that route, all you need to do is to observe and remember all the checkpoints.
你是不是停呢？后边的车别被你吓死这个人。
追尾他。
I can't help but he's just making the car much crowded, especially when he's sleeping. Should I wake him up?
Yeah, finally it ends. I started from 9 today and now it's already 7:30 p.m. I feel like I've been sitting in the car for more than 10 hours. Oh, this intensive course is really exhausted. Oh my gosh. And I have to report here at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, which we will have like 3 hours last minute training before my exams at 10 a.m. Wow. I will definitely pass, otherwise it just doesn't pay off. Tomorrow, 6 a.m. See you later.
You have to.
And I'm here now, waiting for the teacher to pick me up. Wow, such an early morning here in this very kind of rural area.
请完成超车动作。
Step 1. Get a ticket and line up for the exams. Step 2. Put your luggage and ready to go inside.
So I've got a ticket, but it seems like I need to wait.
A few moments later.
It was such an exciting experience. Like, you know, they exactly got a second chance that if you fail in the first round, right? Very exciting. In the first round, actually I was perfect. I was have 100 marks, and the last item is that you didn't park next to the road. As I want to make it perfect, so I just park as close as I can. But then at this time, the car actually touched the line. Oh gosh! And I literally hear the announcement said, "Your examination is over." It's literally said that it's over. Please go back to the starting point. It's like, oh my gosh, I was failed. What happened in the very last point? Oh, luckily I got a second chance. But actually the examiner said, oh, he's gonna have his lunch break and can you wait for 30 minutes? I was like, oh no, please don't. I feel like if I do it again, like after 30 or even waiting for like 40 minutes, I would be much more nervous and maybe not as good as I can do it right now. So after begging him a lot, and he said, oh, then let me have a toilet break first. And I'm super lucky that my second round was the same as the first round. So I just need to do the same thing exactly at this. Oh, and then I did it. Yay, pass it.
At that same day, I can complete my exam course and get my license in just 3 days. I can drive on road right now. So excited. Definitely need to be super careful when I'm driving on road. Good luck to me. Let's do a quick summary on the comparison of the driving exam in China versus Hong Kong. But before I start, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for the support. So first thing I definitely talk about is the time that everyone is concerned about. Driving exam in Hong Kong typically takes more than a year to complete, while in China, it can complete as fast as 45 days. However, it's important to note that different cities in China may have various policies, with some cities allowing completion within even just 1 month. Second thing I think most of you is concerned about is definitely the price. In Hong Kong, cost of driving exam range from 8,000 to 20,000 Hong Kong dollar. If you fail, the expense can accumulate infinitely. My friend even paid 30,000 and get nothing until now. On the other hand, in cities like Guangzhou, fees is around 3,000 to 6,000, depends on if it's a group class or individual class. But the price actually included unlimited attempts until you get passed. I think the third thing that most of you concerned will definitely be the exam format. Both Hong Kong and China exams consist of written tests, a parking test, and a road test. Actually, I want to dive deeper on a comparison of the difficulty of both exams. Like, is Hong Kong exams or China exam more easy to pass? I think this video is a bit too long already. Let me cover it in the next video. Thank you so much for watching until now. Let's do a voting here. If you need to take a driving exam, would you do it in A, China, B, Hong Kong, or C, in other places? Let me know in the comment box below and we'll reveal the answer in the next video.